The one to bring you in, Candy, you mentioned him earlier, and we can't have this podcast without mentioning what's happened as well. Obviously, Novak Djokovic, aged 38 now.
38.
Going for number 25, but feels like he's a long way from number 25 as well. A split with his coach, Sir Andy Murray. We don't know the ins and outs of that, but that relationship seemed a bit odd, maybe a bit forced. Never quite felt the most natural thing I'd ever seen, and then he's just kind of slipped off back into being a dad again, I guess.
I think I just think it was a weird decision. I can understand why he did it, because he wanted someone who's been there, done that, and could give him tips perhaps on the others. But I think Novak really needs someone, a Serbian coach, because he's got a lot going on in the background. Novak, it's not just about tennis. He does other stuff when I speak to Serbian journalists and experts. And so I just think he needs someone that understands his entire situation a little bit better. I think he probably should have brought Marin Vida back. That would be my personal opinion. I also think, and this might be a bit controversial, but I just wish in some ways Novak had ended his career after winning the Olympics. It was such an unbelievable moment. To win, he's like crying on the Paris clay, having won Olympic gold for his country. I just think that would have been the most unbelievable way to call it a day. And I'm not sure what he's doing now to his legacy, if anything. I don't... he has his own right to play, of course he does, and he's brilliant. But that just would have been just the cherry on the top for me. I don't think he needs to win anymore. That's what I'm supposed to say.
Because Calv, he made final in Miami, right? And then... from what I hear and from what I'm picking up, he's maybe been a bit underprepared for the clay, but it feels like he's maybe gone into lockdown mode the last couple of weeks and probably got his work done behind the scenes. I actually saw him play. He had a relatively tough match in the first round in Geneva, and he just took the guy to the cleaners. I'm trying to think who it was. He won like
Fucsovic.
Yeah, Fucsovic. I was thinking, I know Fucsovic maybe hasn't had his best year, but he looked really locked in that match, the bit that I saw. Is this maybe just Novak? He knows how to prepare himself. Has he maybe just gone a little bit like the boxers do into a bit of a camp the last few weeks and gone, right, time to get myself into that mode, which that obviously he's done so well over the last 15, 20 years, really?
I don't think so, to be honest, Keno, because I know one of the doubles lads is good friends with someone in his camp, and I don't want to get anyone in trouble here, so I won't say specifically what role this person in his camp plays, but
that could be one of 25 people in his camp, so don't worry about that.
And we were talking to him in Miami, to the person in his camp, and he said quite openly, I don't know why he's still playing. And in his words, he doesn't like the sport, he doesn't like the life, he doesn't like the tour. I don't know why he's still playing. And then he said, well, I do know why, he has contracts to fulfill. And on hearing that, every match, or almost every match that I've seen Djokovic play since then, he's looked like somebody who echoes those comments. He's obviously got pedigree, but I don't think his body or his mind is what it was. And I'd be very surprised if he's challenging at the latter stages.